This video is going to help you know how to find, go to a couple of articles online, for instance. Get a couple of key ideas from each article and then paraphrase them and make comments on them so that it sounds, it's really you're in your own words, so that you really get the important points of each article. I'm also going to show you how to get those references into your Easybib. So hopefully this video is primarily for people who have already know how to use Easybib. And if you don't know how to use Easybib, I have a separate video for that. But what I'm going to do right now is bring up one website called it's Time Magazine. It's a criminologist case against gun control. So I read most of this, and I highlighted some information. And each time I highlighted, I just copied it and pasted it over here into my Word document, which I have open in a separate window. And I have three key ideas here from this man's article, where he talks about there's actually been a decrease in violent crime and gun crime in the U.S., and that most of the gun deaths are suicides, and that no solution is very, very easy. So, and again, this wasn't the whole article, but it's a section of the article. But these are three key points I thought I should remember and that I should paraphrase. The other article I went to is a anti-gun website or article, and this one is much, much different. This author named Phoebe Maltz-Bovey, this is written in the same month as the last article, back in 2015. And this author simply wants guns banned. She doesn't really provide any statistics like the last article, but there were some key points that she made that I felt I really needed to have, because they're in such contrast to the last article. So what I did here is now I have her article, It's Time to Ban Guns. And these are directly from the article. Ban guns, not just gun violence, not just certain guns, not just already technically illegal guns, but all of them. She feels we should take guns away from people, even if they already legally own them. And she doesn't even want police to be carrying them. So these are some very, very, important pieces of information that, people share these opinions. It's not just her. So I've got three key ideas here from Jacob Davidson's piece, A Criminologist's Case Against Gun Control. And I also have Phoebe Bovey's comments here from It's Time to Ban Guns. So what I'm going to do now is synthesize them, which means put together, this information from both articles and paraphrase it so that I'm primarily using my own words. So here we go. I'm going to read this out loud to you. So, gun control has been a controversial topic for some time in America. Mass shootings in schools and the perceptions that shootings have increased in recent years are a couple of reasons. Jacob Davidson points out in his article that gun violence is actually much lower now than it was in the early 1990s. He also points out that the majority of deaths by guns are suicides. Nevertheless, there are some, like Phoebe Maltz-Bovey, who feel that guns, all of them, should be banned. Not even police officers should be armed. It becomes obvious how far apart the two stances can be. It should be noted that whereas Davidson backs his position with statistics, Bovey relies more on an emotional reaction to guns, and that they should be taken from even current owners. Now, you can see where my own words are coming in here. I've made the general statement that this is a controversial topic in America and it's been going on for some time. Davidson's article does mention, the mass shootings and the perceptions that shootings have increased as some reasons. but I used my own words to bring that about. Also, remember what he said. He actually said, quote from him is that there's been a remarkable decrease in violent crime and gun crime in the U.S. since the early 90s. I paraphrase that to simply say that he points out that gun violence is actually much lower now than it was in the early 90s. So I've honored his thoughts, but I've used my own words for the most part here. He does state that most gun-related deaths are suicides, not murders. I use that by saying he points out that the majority of deaths by guns are suicides. So that's exactly what he means, and I have nevertheless paraphrased. I've used my own words. Now, when I talk about Bovie's piece, notice that I've quoted here the all of them should be banned. I quoted that because I am taking that directly from her writing, where she says ban guns, not just gun violence, not just certain guns, not just already technically illegal guns, but all of them. So I said, okay, I'm going to emphasize that, but because I'm directly copying and pasting what she wrote, I put it in quotes. And not even police officers should be banned. Well, she says that. It's worth adding that an anti-gun position is ultimately about police not carrying guns either. So again, I'm getting across the points that she believes, but I am using my own words. So this is just how one paragraph, for instance, can be created from information from two different articles. So I have I've combined information from two different articles to let readers know that there is a controversy and very, very divergent opinions on this. So this is a possible introduction or part of an introduction to a research paper. Now, let's go back and look at how to get this information in Easybib. Now, I've already taken this article, and what I did was I highlighted the title, I copied and pasted it, I have Easybib open, I went ahead and pasted it into, I have website selected here, not book, I have website, and I pasted the title of the web article right here. It found it, it's a Time article, I cited it, and here is what it gave me. So I have a beautiful little MLA version 8 citation for that article. Well, I need to do the same thing for this article. So you might remember how we did it in our lesson that we had in the lab. What I'm going to do is highlight this. Doesn't matter what the font size is. Copy that. I'm going to go to Easybib. I've got website selected. I'm going to paste it in. And yep, here it is. See, the original article here was in the New Republic. Here it is, New Republic. That's the one I want. So I'm going to cite this. It had some trouble, but I can put the information in myself. It's time to ban guns, all of them, and the author is Phoebe Bovie. So sometimes this happens where you have to put in the information yourself. Actually, I'm going to put the New Republic as the publisher. There we go. Now, can I find what day, month, and year it was published? Well, maybe. Yes, it's right here. December 10th, 2015. So, 10th of December, 2015. That's all I need. And I'm going to cite this. And here we go. Now it has given me a lot of information here I don't really need. I could perhaps go back and edit this. It's giving me a very long URL here, which I typically wouldn't need. It's okay to have that. You just don't always need it. But for now, we'll just go ahead and keep this. But you could certainly go back manually and get rid of this if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter right now. What you have that's important is you have both of your sources in a works cited format, okay, in an MLA8 works cited format, and it's already in alphabetical order. So what we're going to do is export that. This is also in the previous video that I did. We're going to go to Export, Print as Word Doc, Download for MS Word. In this case, I have to go up. I have to go to my downloads. Here it is. And there it is. So there's my works cited page. In this case, what I'm going to do, since I already have a document open, I'm just going to take this, I'm going to copy this, close this page, and go to my research paper that I'm writing. And I'm going to paste this in. I'm going to get rid of the bold. And here we are. Now what I would do, you always put your works cited on your very last page. Doesn't matter how many pages you have. Just always put your works cited on the last page. So here I have it. Here I have some information. I'm just pretending right now that this is my research paper. But what I had was some of my research notes up here. This is one way you can do it. And you can, of course, delete this later when you actually have your paper finished. And then here's your paraphrasing, your summarizing, your synthesizing, and then you've shown your resources. So I hope this helps. This is how you can do a couple of articles online, get some valid information from both of them, information that's really pertinent to your topic. Get that into Word, paraphrase it, synthesize it, and then make sure you have saved those sources into Easybib. So I hope this helped.